My Little Pony, a girl show? Why would I want to watch that? I mean, after all, isn't it for 5-year-olds and not 5-year-old boys, 5-year-old girls for that matter? Spelling lessons and talking down to the audience, and don't even get me started on the weirdo bronies, full-grown adult men obsessed over horses. Give me a break. Yeah, that's what I thought at one point too. Get your kid ass out of here. Hello, I'm Discord J Knight, a brony true and true. But I wasn't always like that. Don't get me wrong, I was aware of the show's existence back in the day, but due to my own feelings as a man, I thought it wasn't going to be for me. I thought it was just some silly pony princess giggling about boys and dresses and friendship is magic. And despite the somewhat odd popularity of it, I never saw it as something I would ever be interested in. I mean, it came out also during the 2010s, and to be honest with you, at that time I was in middle school, heading off to high school, and I was reading stuff like manga, watching anime, and trying to pass my high school exams. If I was lucky, I'd catch one of the reruns of my old favorite TV shows from back in the day, which I often just used as background noise. Like, I didn't even want to watch cartoons back then. I just mostly played them in the background while I was doing homework. Honestly, the shows of that era wasn't my taste either. Look, I have nothing against the 2010 shows, but they really just weren't my interest. And I'm glad that so many people do find these shows, especially today, because a lot of those kids are now grown up. A lot of those shows are very, very popular and beloved. And I'm happy about that. But for me, to be totally honest with you, the last good show of my time during the 2010s was Gravity Falls. In fact, that was probably the last show I even watched before I cut the cable completely and I became an adult, honestly. That's just where I was at. It's funny because nowadays I find myself searching for anything that gives me that true feeling from my childhood. It was my friend, a Star Wars buddy of mine, that actually got me into watching it. And believe me, as a guy, it seems totally weird to even try to watch this show. I mean, the bright colors, all the giggles, all the little pinks and purples, and it just doesn't scream anything masculinity at all. It doesn't scream anything manly at all. I mean, it's not like Naruto or Goku where he's got all these big gigantic muscles and he's trying to fight off Frieza or Naruto trying to fight off his friends with Rasengan. It's nothing like that. It's supposed to be directed to a female audience. So why on earth do a show like this attract a male audience? Why on earth does a show like this attract me? And why do I think more people should watch it? I'm saying specifically more people. While this video is aimed towards men in particular, the fact is the lesson it teaches, the values MLP promotes, are things many other shows from my childhood also conveyed. And I'm not even kidding, whether you were a boy or a girl, everyone could love Fairly Odd Parents. Everyone could love Zack and Cody. And honestly, while a lot of people might not like what I have to say here, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. The fact is, we live in a world where men are treated like the scum of the earth and told we're the problem, when in reality, a significant portion of the problem isn't men or women, but after this, trying to destroy the archetype of masculinity. But here's what's funny about when I was a child, sure, the boy versus girl debate did exist, but like I didn't care. I watched Tinkerbell because I thought she was cute. I watched shows like Hannah Montana, Zoe 101, and I had a sister. And guess what? I actually didn't even like Star Wars. She's the one who got me into Star Wars. And because I had my sister at the time, who I had to share a TV with, I, no joke, got into shows that I would probably never even be interested in, and I flat out enjoyed them. She also got into shows that she never get into because of me, Danny Phantom, or she actually got me into Drake and Josh. Watching The Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, these are shows that I truly enjoy, and the thing that they all have in common is that they each try to teach a proper lesson and value. Now, I'm not saying that the entire point of the show, the most important thing is, of course, to teach the value, the lesson, or anything like that. No, the most important thing of the show is, to me, the story. I mean, the lesson comes pretty much with that, but it's how you tell the lesson. These shows are not just trying to point their fingers at you and tell you straight up because you're a guy that you need to be this, that, or anything else. These are simple values that seem to be lost today. Men used to be the type who would stand up for what's right, defend their friends, family, and women, hold the door open for a nice lady, tip their hat out of kindness. Men used to be generous, loyal, honest. My Little Pony teaches value that people today have lost, not just men. There are so many two-time and low lives out there, both female and male. And one thing I like about MOP is that it doesn't point fingers or hoof in this case. It doesn't point its hoof at you and call you the problem. Instead, it invites you to learn. It invites anyone to learn, and all you need to do is be willing to listen. This is why, as an adult, I like cartoons in general. You might think you know the lessons, having learned them as a kid, but when you face the real world, it can kick you down so hard that you literally forget all of those lessons. Or actually, come to think of it, it makes you question if you truly ever understood the lessons in the first place. As an adult, you're supposed to just know these lessons by now. But how do people really learn? Do we actually learn through sitting down, listening, and being lectured to constantly, day in and day out? No, we don't. We learn through experiences, and cartoons are an experience, an opportunity to learn. And if you just sit back and actually try to put yourself into the character's shoes, try to experience their world, and see what their lesson actually is, only then can you truly understand and truly go through that type of experience. So yeah, I get it. I'm a guy, believe me, a bunch of cute little horses with all these eye-burning colors doesn't seem like a show for me either. And by the way, the show doesn't actually talk down to you at all. Yes, it does recount the lesson at the end of the day. Sometimes, not all the time. Eventually, they just drop that entirely. But to be honest with you, there's even a lot more lessons within the show that the show doesn't even bring up. That's what's really nice about it. If you actually try to observe the characters for who they are and the lessons the show is trying to teach you, you'll find that MOP isn't just a show for girls. It's a show with values. Values that every man, values that every person should have. For example, Fluttershy. Yes, she does teach the whole value of trying to get over shyness and all that, but there are other grayer lessons that she teaches. Like, for example, how it doesn't matter how small your effort is, sometimes a little effort can make a huge difference. Trust me, that's a big deal. Why would you ever want to do anything anyway? Why wouldn't you just want to give up, right? You're fat, lazy, you've got no girl, your personality sucks, and every time you go outside, you're told you're a waste of space. Or even when you try to escape by watching movies or go online, they only double down on why they hate you. My experience? No, it was sunshine and rainbows. But that's the point. Why even start if you can't make a difference at all? But Fluttershy's journey in just one episode gives you more encouragement to just try, than any other show I've ever seen. And that's just one episode. And Fluttershy's episode, logistically speaking, are actually some of the lamest. Sorry, Fluttershy. But that's just one example of thousands. Like there's Rainbow Dash learning how to read, and that enjoying something doesn't make you lame. That is a huge lesson because, of course, as a guy liking MLP, what, am I lame now for liking MLP? No, it doesn't. So that's an important lesson to take away from Dash. Applejack learning that even if it hurts somebody, honesty and truth is always the way to go. Or Twilight learning that if you expect the future to be bad, that's exactly what you're going to end up with. And to be honest with you, that is a lesson that I myself need to actually take to heart a little bit more, because honestly, with today's world, the way things are going, it doesn't seem bright at all. But if you expect nothing but a bad future, that's all you're gonna get. So instead, make the best of what today. I think that's a really good value to take away from My Little Pony. And I'm so glad that My Little Pony has these amazing lessons and amazing values that I and so many others can take away. So if you ask me why men should watch My Little Pony, my answer is simple: because there's value in learning how to be a better person. And all you need is a little pony friendship to show you the way. Of course it's corny. It's a show about friendship. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, friends, friendship and being a man are both magic.